Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another Community Fit, and in particular, a Adjusting to Change Toolkit class. I am your host, James, and here we are. We're going to talk about all things nervous system regulation, especially having to do with the concept of change, which is the thing that disrupts your nervous system. And that's sort of an important thing to recognize as we explore and play that your body, your nervous system is quite literally designed to spot even before your thought process spots. Your nervous system, your senses, your gut, your heart, all of that is designed to spot change and determine, do I like the way it's going or do I not like the way it's going? And then that kind of reinforces how we feel about things. So we're taking some time in this 6-week series to tap into our nervous system. What is it that our bodies are feeling in the moment? And then reprogram some thought process around that through the lens of meditations. And so we've covered some nervous system regulation work, the toolkit, and we've been adding practices to that toolkit. We're going to continue with that today. We've also done some somatic meditation work. We've done the welcoming meditation practice that was last week. And this week, we're going to do what is called the freedom process meditation. It's a kind of different version of meditation along the same lines. And that will take us through next week. And then we have 1 week after that where we're going to kind of make sense of it all. So let's go ahead and get started. Do we have, and just throw up an emoji somewhere, do we have anyone that is brand new to this class? Never taken a adjusting to change toolkit class before? Okay, so we got we got a couple of hands that are raised there. Okay, so we're going to catch you up. My best piece of advice. So these Friday classes run more like a course where we're adding components. That doesn't mean that you aren't going to get something out of this week. My best advice to you is stick with what feels appropriate for you. And I'll give some indicators along the way if you hear me say, and this might be enough for you today. That might be a time for you to get curious about, is this enough for me? Should I stay here and keep doing this practice while James and other people in the class kind of move forward into practices? Because we have people on the line right now that have been with us for weeks, months, years now doing some of this work. And so some people are going to be able to move forward in a very different way. As here's the thing that's true about nervous system work. There is no one size fits all. There is nothing that I or anyone else online or in real life can teach you that is going to for sure make things better for you. What we can offer is a library of options and choices and kind of guide you through how to discern, is this practice right for me or is this practice right for me? But at the end of the day, that's just leading the horse to water. And at some point, the participant, you out there, have to decide, do I like the water that I'm drinking here? And should I drink more of this or should I wait for the next opportunity? So let's start there with a noticing practice. So go ahead and sit comfortably. Also, for those of you wondering, Bob is asleep at that side of the couch. For those of you who don't know Bob, he's my dog and he'll appear. Keep your eyes out. He'll probably be right around here somewhere at some point throughout today. So I kind of sit over here. It's it's the co-host spot. Keep your eyes out. Okay, noticing practice. Go ahead and sit comfortably and just take an inventory. Take an inventory of how you feel in the moment. And there could be a couple of lenses to do that through. You may want to just kind of tap into, what is my muscle system like right now? Do I feel tight, tense? Do I feel relaxed? Do I feel narrow and kind of like this? Or do I feel broad, wide, and kind of like this? What does that feel like? Or you could notice your breathing. And breathing could be holding your breath, could be rapid breathing, could be shallow breathing. Or are you breathing kind of regulated, big expansive breaths, calm? Do you enjoy the way you're breathing or do you wish it was something different? This is not try to change something without a practice. This is just a noticing. You could also tap into just the vibe of the moment. Like, how you feeling right now? Are you curious and open to what's about to take place the next 20, 25 minutes? Or are you resistant and sort of anxious about it? And those are things to just kind of notice, right? None of them are right, none of them are wrong. It's just options and choices. Something we'll be playing with later on that you may want to kind of tap into right now is noticing an area of your body that feels exceptionally good and an area that feels the total opposite of that. And exceptionally good is for you to determine. It could feel spacious, it could feel warm, it could feel pleasant, it could feel like sunshine or rainstorms. Like, I don't know what feels pleasant to you. And then maybe somewhere that feels the opposite of that. And kind of get curious about, where is that in my body? Where is that in your body? Is it a shoulder, front of the body, whatever it is? And then as we adjust through the practices, as we move through them, things change. And so a practice, whether it's a breathwork practice, a movement practice, whatever it is, gives the opportunity for the nervous system to do something different, to experience and then be different. And so after doing a practice, I encourage you to then reflect and go, whatever I was feeling to begin with, whether that is my muscle system, my breathing, good spots, bad spots, the vibe of the moment, I then just spend a few seconds, a few moments going, have things changed? And do I like the way it's changed too? And if so, I should probably do more of whatever that is, right? And if nothing changes, it doesn't mean that the practices are good or bad. It just means that there might be something else going on that your nervous system actually finds important to look at. Meaning, there could be a physical pain that is an actual legitimate pain. And that might be for you to go, okay, nothing changed, but do these practices allow me the space and the capacity to feel more resilient? It could be a change that is going on around you, right? Like, I personally right now have a lot going on around me, school, my professional world, so on and so forth. So no amount of breathing is going to make that better, right? It's just the breathing exercises and such give me the capacity to navigate through something. So as I do these practices, I'm not anticipating that the world is going to change around me. That's unrealistic. What I'm anticipating is that I have more capacity to move through things. So we're going to go through the toolkit. The toolkit is categories of practices. We have a breath work. We have a sensory foraging. We have therapeutic touch, movement, and vocalization. They are categories. We're going to play with some stuff that we've done before, and then we're going to keep adding to it. This is what I was saying at the beginning of class. If we do a more fundamental exercise, and I say, and that might be where you want to stay, I encourage you to stay and keep practicing these things. No need to go forward. That's just some encouragement there. So number one is breath work. We're going to start off with the physiological sigh. The physiological sigh is a double inhale followed by a single exaggerated exhalation. It's a big inhale, full inhale, one single exhalation. If you can go in through the nose, out through the mouth, all the better. We're going to do 3 to 5 of those and then do a reflection. Here we go. Let's do a cleansing breath. Regular human breathing exhale, and then inhale, another inhale, exhale. Again, one more. Take your inventory. And let's try a different breathwork practice. For today, the new one we're going to try on is box breathing. And box breathing is imagining like an invisible square in front of you. All sides are even. So our inhale is going to be, I'm going to choose the number 3 to a 3 count, holding for a 3 count, exhaling for a 3 count, holding for a 3 count, inhale, hold, exhale, hold. It can be a 3 count, it can be a 4 count, it can be a 15 count. It truly makes no difference, but just that there is a rhythm. And here's the thing, I'm going to do the counting for the first few, and part of box breathing actually is you doing your own counting while you're breathing. So I'm going to demonstrate for a few repetitions, then we'll create some space for you to count and breathe at the same time. Ready? Here we go. Take a regular human being inhale, regular human being exhale. Inhale to 3, 2, hold. 3, 2, exhale. 3, 2, hold. 3, 2, inhale. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1 on your own. Last repetition. And then take an inventory. How did those practices make you feel? Did you prefer physiological sigh or a box breath? Everyone's going to be a little bit different. And for some people, the breathing exercises actually don't help at all. They actually make things worse for some people. And so maybe one of the other categories works better for you. Now, the next category is going to be sensory foraging. Again, just letting things come in through the senses. We're going to start off with the visual orientation because 70% of us are visual creatures. And visual orientation is simply looking around your space, pausing, slowing down, taking your time to see what is above you, to intake what's to the left and to the right, and to do it with an objective point of view versus subjective. Objective viewing is going to sound to yourself a lot like there's a wall, an art, and a plant, and a book, and another book, and several books. Candles, camera, clock, plant, mirror, wall. And you're just going around looking and naming. Now, if that feels good, keep doing your visual orientation. You can also close your eyes. Last week we did a kind of a joy spotting and an auditory one. This week we're going to do kinesthetic orientation. So here's what that might sound like. With eyes closed, it's easier. You can also open your eyes. Start to feel the clothing on your own body. Paying attention to what does the shirt you're wearing right now feel like on your body? How, without using your brain, how does your body know you're wearing that shirt versus a different shirt? Same could be true for pants or shoes or a jacket if you have one on. Pay attention to the chair you're sitting on. How does your body, not your brain, how does your body know that you're sitting in that chair versus a different chair? What's touching your legs? Where are your legs not being touched? How does the backrest support or not support you? Are there armrests or not? Is it firm? Is it soft? Is it wide? Is it narrow? What does it feel like to sit there? Are your feet touching the floor or not? Which portions of your feet? It's like maybe for the first time today, you're actually paying attention to what it feels like in your body to be in the moment. What temperature is it? Is there a breeze? Is there not a breeze? How tall does it feel like you are in the moment? Does it feel like you're supported or unsupported physically in the moment? Or just look around and notice how that has changed something. And now you can start to discern, am I a breathwork person or a sense person? Which one do I prefer? Which one supports me more? Which one takes me in the direction I want to be taken? Next one is going to be therapeutic touch. So bring your hands together, get them nice and warm. Take your hands, place them either onto jaws, throat, chest, belly, or kind of wherever that is, right? Feeling the warmth. And again, for therapeutic touch, it's a gentle practice. And sometimes those gentle practices take a while, and that's fine. Sometimes gentle things that take a while end up going the deepest. Now you can stay here. You can go back into the havening. Again, Havening, havening, which is movement, stroking of the hands or the face. Soft, gentle, like how you might touch a baby. Upper arms. We could go into some tapping. And for today, we're going to go into some percussive tapping. So you can make a fist, soft fist, or a cup. We're going to go right into the chest bone. Just kind of rhythmic tapping. None of them are right. Options and choices for you to explore and play. How do you know you're doing the right one? Which one feels the best? And if the answer is none of them, maybe try a breath work. Maybe go into the orientation. Maybe pause. Here, now we have three different options, right? Breath work, sensory foraging, therapeutic touch. We can also start to couple some of those practices, meaning doing two practices at one time. And I'm bringing that up because that's what my body wants to do right now. I want to do this, but I also want to do some orientation. Then take your inventory. What, if anything, has changed? Next one is movement. We're going to start off with our bilateral sways, which is right and left. You could also go into those rotations, just rotating to the right, doing a couple of breaths, rotating in the other direction, doing a couple of breaths. None of them are right, none of them are wrong. Could also introduce something new here. That's just like some jiggles. Jiggling works really well when you're standing. It's a little harder when you're sitting. Just some jiggling or shaking. Here's the thing with shaking, right? When I teach this, and I guarantee someone out there, there's about 31 of us right now, someone out there is doing this. I think to myself, when I see this in someone who's doing a shaking practice, this to me says you really love your stress. You actually don't want to shake it off. Shake it off like you are trying to like shake something loose, shake something like just get it off of you, get it out of you. And then notice movement. Big movement, small movement, movement, like you're trying to move a feeling, a sensation, a change through the physical body. Next and last category is going to be vocalizations. And I've said it a million billion times within this class. Vocalizations, super profound, super powerful, super simple, simply making a noise. Also very, very difficult, very, very hard for people to allow themselves to do. I've said it before in classes, I'll bring it up again. I have several friends who have done dissection labs. Quite literally, your tongue is connected to some muscles down the throat that interdigitate, which means become fascia throughout the lower throat chest area. That fascia then moves from outwards and goes inwards and dives into the body. Some of that clavicular thoracolumbar stuff. and literally becomes the pericardium or the fascia, the connective tissue around the heart. So when we speak colloquially, when we speak in narratives that we speak from the heart, it is quite literally true. Your tongue is connected to your heart. And when we have things that weigh on our chest, it is often because we have not vocalized whatever that is. We are holding on to it around our heart and not letting it out with sound. So, ideally, when I say vocalizations, the like pinnacle of that is might be, and it's so cliche anymore, is like speaking your truth, right? Like getting it out, expressing yourself. So difficult to do culturally. So it can sound like and start with things like sighing, and not a physiological sigh, which is a breath work sigh, but a like an emotive sigh, something that has some affectation to it. It's got an emotion behind it. Like if I was hearing it off of you, I could go, oh, she's stressed. Oh, he's angry. Oh, he's got a load coming off of his chest, right? Where we're literally making sounds with it. It can be a hum, opened or closed mouth. High pitched, low pitched, no difference, right? It could be something like a VU breath. V as in Victor, O, 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 O. Inspiration being foghorn. VU. And then checking in with how you feel. Now, if there was some resistance to the vocalization, that might be really helpful for where we are going next. As we explore and place, those are the toolkit practices. Those are the 5 categories. We're gonna have a Bob sighting. Hello, Bob. Um, those are the 5 categories. Different practices. Those are not, that's not the exhaustive appendix of practices. Those are possibilities. 5 distinct categories with possibilities in there. Guaranteed some of them really worked for you, some of them didn't, and you can explore and play and learn more practices. We're now going to do a switch. The majority of this class has been around meditation, right? What we have been practicing with the toolkit is mindfulness, the ability to pay attention to what is changing within my body and what is the trigger for that change, which then becomes a simile or a metaphor for what is going on in my life and what is the trigger for how that is making me feel. And so the mindfulness that we've been playing with, exploring, in our bodies is transferable to paying attention to other circumstances. What I mean by that is next time you're in a meeting, paying attention to how is the meeting as it's going on making me feel? How did I feel before I went into the meeting? How did the meeting make me feel? And how did I feel afterwards? When I'm feeling good in my body, when my shoulders feel soft, when I feel expansive, am I more open to people? Am I more open to change? Am I more collaborative? Am I more empathetic and compassionate? So on and so forth. And how is that different when I'm feeling differently? And if I prefer to be empathetic, compassionate, collaborative, kind, all of those things, what of these practices can I do to support the behavior that I would like to be displaying more often? Because again, when we've talked about specifically in the last course a few weeks ago, so much of that change is going on interpersonally. So much of that change and how we get through it is going on systemically and with other people. Being mindful of how it is you are within the moment is like the key to everything. And that's where we're going right now. The practice that we're going to play with is called the freedom process. And I pointed out the resistance specifically to vocalization because the freedom process is all about paying attention to what am I resistant to? Where do I have a resistance to feeling empathetic, kind, collaborative, whatever it is, in difficult moments? Do I have resistance to feeling how I would like to feel when going gets tough? When I turn on the news at night, when I'm talking to that person versus this person? Like, and sometimes we're not aware of it, right? Like these are embedded, learned behaviors, right? Sometimes we pick them up from our moms or our dads, or our grandmas or our grandpas, a manager somewhere, a teacher somewhere, a friend somewhere, and we don't even know why we're doing them or where that belief came from, so on and so forth. And we're just not attuned to it. We're not paying attention to it. And yet these are the things that are affecting our behaviors. And we're wondering why is life going the way it's going? So here's the process, right? Let's start off with just, and if you're welcome, like close your eyes. I think, in fact, I'm going to turn my camera off so you are not inclined to watch me. Again, sorry, YouTube, not very fun YouTube watching, but here we are. Eyes closed, eyes open, you decide. Take a couple of breaths. Maybe allow yourself to feel supported within your chair. Let your back feel supported. Do your favorite nervous system toolkit practice that really regulated you. That might be a breath work, might be a hand on a chest, a belly, swaying from side to side, something that makes you feel safe, secure, and present. Now, I'm going to give you a word. The word is calm, feeling calm. Just be with that word for a moment. And here's the meditation. To yourself, in your own mind and body, no need to vocalize the words. Say to yourself, I am calm and freedom. I am calm and freedom. And see what happens in your body. Does your heartbeat slow down? Do you feel softer, more relaxed, more supported? Or do you feel different? Do your shoulders hike up a little bit? Does your breathing get a little faster? Is your brain telling you, I'm not calm? Are you kind of fighting that phrase? And if so, say to yourself, I am resistant to being calm and freedom. I am resistant to being calm and freedom. Just notice what happens. Now, you can choose a different word. That word might be focused. I am focused and freedom. Or I'm resistant to being focused and to freedom. The word might be playful. I am playful and freedom. Or I'm resistant to playful and freedom. I am powerful and freedom. Or I am resistant to powerful and to freedom. I feel good and also freedom. Or I'm resistant to feeling good. And just notice. Maybe it's a word all of your own choosing. What would you like to feel? What word might you equate to the word freedom? I am spacious. I am loved. I am stable. I am secure. Whatever word it is, what might unlock the feeling of freedom? And just noticing in your body when that feels true or when it doesn't feel true. And when it doesn't feel true, just acknowledging, normalizing, not trying to change, but sitting with the fact that somewhere inside of you there is resistance to feeling freedom. Now, that resistance Might be from a number of things. It doesn't matter. We're not in a psychological process here. We are in a real moment meditation process. And when and if you start to feel any anxiousness, any resistance, turn to your favorite practice as a support mechanism. Do some breath work, do some orientation, do some therapeutic touch or movement, and notice how that changes. Anything you might be feeling, anywhere you might feel open to, resistant, or stuck. Again, this is not a miracle cure. This is a practice. All of these are practices. And in the way that you would not be good at waking up one day and deciding you're going to run a marathon, acknowledging I would need to practice in order to do that. Acknowledging I can't just wake up one day and play concert piano. I would have to practice. You are also going to have to practice some nervous system regulation and some meditation and some awareness. And this is just one of many, many practices you can practice. Now, I'll stick around for whatever questions you got. There might be some today. You might have some on the toolkit or this last freedom practice, but I encourage you to consider, maybe even do a journaling exercise of what word might you equate freedom with, and use that as a practice, as a gauge to determine how am I feeling in the moment. Thank you all for joining. Glad Bob joined us over here. And we'll see you next week. I know. Everyone just comes for Bob. I get it. I get it. I'm just here. Thanks everybody. Really appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye.